Good morning, students. The topic of today is Carnatic music, adhering to the technical terms. First, we'll see the origin and purpose of Carnatic music. It has got its roots in the Samavedas. It is a distinct system of music with its own history and identity. The main purpose of our Carnatic music is bhakti. That is, it elevates the performer as well as the listener to a different level mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Many a time we see the Carnatic musical technical terms are being translated in English, which leads to a distortion of the actual meaning of the technical term. During the British rule, there was a bridge near the Marina Beach, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, which was named as Hamilton Bridge. When the Tamil government came, they were not able to pronounce the Hamilton properly, so they started telling Ambatan, which means barber in English. So the Hamilton Bridge was renamed as the Barber's Bridge. In future, if any Hindi knowing government is formed in Tamil Nadu, probably it may be named as Nai, which means barber in Hindi. So Hamilton Bridge will become Docks Bridge maybe in future. So this is the type of distortions which is completely away from the original naming. Similarly, in English, if you see, there is only one term as teacher. But in Sanskrit, there are so many interpretations. Like if it is Adhyapak, it means one who gives you information. Upadhyaya means one who imparts knowledge combined with information. Acharya means the one who imparts skill. Pandit means one who is able to give a deep insight into a subject. Drishta means the one who has a visionary view on a subject and teaches you to think in that manner. Guru is the one who is able to awaken wisdom in you, leading you from darkness to light. So, for a single teacher, there are so many different types of terms in Sanskrit. So, our intention is not to deviate from the original technical terms. Since bhakti is very predominant in the Carnatic music, it should not be removed and projected it as an art form. For example, the talent of a performer being shown overriding the bhakti in some cases. So, but there is an exception for Manodharma Sangeetam where the performer has to project his performance or the talent. Okay, what is if equivalent word is not available while translating? So, if there is no equivalent word in English, it's better to retain the original names. For example, in Indian languages, some words are retained and they are found in the English dictionaries like chai, chutney, namaste, biryani, tulasi, bandikut. So these are a few examples. Likewise, Carnatic music or technical terms have to be retained in the original language if the equivalent word is not available. Now we will see some musical terms which are given equivalent English term, which doesn't tally. For example, Nadha. English term for that is sound. Sound is just a vibration created from a vibrating object. Whereas Nadha means, Na stands for Pranavayu, Da means fire. So Nadha is produced by the union of Pranavayu and fire in the human body. Atman directs the manas to produce Nadha, Manas instigates Prana Shakti, which interacts with Agni, and Nadha is produced. Nadha traverses through Nabhi, Hrudaya, Kanta, and Shiras, and then expressed. Next is Nadha gives rise to Srutis. Nadha can be classified into Ahata and Anahata. Ahata is what you hear externally, like human voice, instrument, or nature like rainfall. Anahata Nadha is one which only jnanis or great yogis can sense. Nada is a continuous and sustained musical sound like singing or ringing a bell. The next musical term we'll see is swara. It is equalized to note. A note is a symbolic representation of the pitches and the duration in a musical notation. There is no difference between a semitone and a note. In Carnatic parlance, having a definite frequency, Shrutis gives rise to swaras, swaras give rise to ragas, swara has a definite frequency. And we are very proud to say that Indians were the first to devise the 7 swara system derived from the Samaveda, Archika, Gatikas, Samika, Swarantara, Audava, Shadava, and Sampurna. The third musical term we'll see is the Sthayi. In English term, it is said as octave, which is made up of 12 half steps. Whereas in Carnatic music, Sthayi has 22 Srutis. The fourth term we'll see is the Sruthi. Here, the minute difference between two musical tones or nadas that a human ear can identify is Sruthi. We have got 22 Srutis in a Sthayi and they have got definite frequency. Whereas a semitone, the interval between two consecutive notes in a 12-tone scale in Western music, theoretically it recognizes microtone, which is smaller than the semitone, and quarter-tone, which is half of the semitone. The fifth Carnatic music technical term we are going to see is the Mela. In English, there is no equivalent term. Western music does not have any categorization of ragas or classification of musical scales. In Carnatic music, it refers to the system of scales that are formulated to organize the ragas. It facilitates systematic grouping and categorizing of ragas based on the permutation and combination of the swaras. This is a proud innovation of Vidyaranya, Ramamatya, Venkatamakki and Govindachari. Inspired by this, Bhatkande in early 1900s devised that system in Hindustani music. The sixth term which we are going to see is the Kala. Some compare it with speed, which is very generic and indicates either it is fast or slow. In Carnatic music, it is Thala Dasa Prana, that is Laya, Kala, Kala, Yeti, Prasthara, Marga, Kriya, Anga, Graha and Jati. Kala is the time taken to utter one akshara in each beat of the talam. It can be first kalam, second kalam or third kalam. The seventh technical term we are going to see is the Gamakam. We have got Dasavidha Gamakas, which I have already given a presentation in more detail. You can see the links below in my YouTube channel. Comparing to this, in English terms, we have got legato, staccato, vibrato, etc. Their system of music is harmonic, that is, 2 or 3 notes played together. So there is no room for oscillation or embellishing a swara. like in Bhairavi or Todi, giving more Gamakas. The eighth term we are going to see is the Laya, which is formless. It can exist without Thala, but Thalam cannot exist without Laya. Example, Raga Alapana. If you compare with the rhythm, it is little different because it is defined as a particular arrangement of note lengths in a piece of music. Sometimes it matches the beat or sometimes it may not. Similarly, Thala. In our system, it is defined and represented in the form of cycles like Avartanam, comprising of a specific number of beats or aksharas, which repeats throughout the song. Raga and Laya go hand in hand, giving rise to a distinct moods in the minds of the listener in Carnatic music. Whereas in Western, melody and rhythm are independent. Finally, we come to the term Raga. Ragas are beyond the scale. It is not scalar. There are numerous ragas and each raga has a distinct prayogas. They are the template with rules to be followed, but at the same time give space for manodharma or extempore or creativity to the artist to play around. In Carnatic music, melody, harmony and rhythm are integrated. Like in an orchestra, vocal instruments play together, but they are melodic. Whereas in Western system, it is a series of single tone that is produced one after the other. Scales or melodies, major, minor, harmonic, minor, melodic minor scale. Melody is opposed to harmony and rhythm. Harmony is opposed to the melody and rhythm. And finally, rhythm is opposed to melody and harmony. In conclusion, each musical form has its own uniqueness and distinction. So using the terms from other systems or giving generic terms in the name of making it universal, simplifying will create wrong notion and confusion among the students, learners, audience, resulting in deviation and distortion from the original text. So, technical terms in Carnatic music should be retained in its original form. I conclude the presentation with sincere thanks to Vrinda Acharya and Sri Rajiv Malhotra for their valuable inputs. Thank you.